Good morning again, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us once again for our monthly Funded Fast Chats. I am Rochelle Thomas, Energy Manager with the San Joaquin Valley Clean Energy Organization. Please continue to look out for us every second Tuesday of the month as we work to bring you valuable financing and project information. We have a very special guest with us for this month's Fast Chat. Her name is Lauren Seymour, and she is a project manager with the Energy Coalition. Lauren manages project delivery for public agency energy efficiency projects through the Southern California Regional Energy Network, or SoCal REN for short, through their public agency program. Before I hand it over to Lauren, I have just a little bit of housekeeping. Please be aware that your microphones have all been muted upon joining the call. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to submit them using your chat box anytime throughout the presentation. We'll designate some time at the end to discuss your questions. If for any reason we don't get to your question, keep an eye out for our follow-up email. In that email, we will include, if there are any unanswered questions, we'll address them there. We also will include a link to the recording of this presentation, as well as links to any other resources we discuss during the call. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, I am going to hand control over to Lauren and let her introduce herself.
All right, thank you, Rochelle. So my name is Lauren Seymour with the Energy Coalition, and I'm a project manager for the Southern California Regional Energy Network, or as Rochelle said, SoCal REN for short. Today I'll be talking about the SoCal REN's Revolving Loan Fund, as well as other financing services available to public agencies. And I know internal revolving loan funds have been covered a few times on this series in the past, but this revolving loan fund program that we're discussing today is unique in that it's an external program available for many public agencies to access and take advantage of. Oops. All right, so the SoCal REN is a ratepayer-funded program under the auspices of the California Public Utilities Commission. The County of Los Angeles, you can see here, but today we're going to be honing in on the public agency programs. And these programs are implemented by the Energy Coalition. We're an environmental 501c3 nonprofit with over 40 years of experience in the public sector. And because these programs are ratepayer funded, the services are available at no cost to public agencies that are enrolled in the SoCal REN and who are in SCE and SoCal Gas territories. There are over 700 agencies within the 12 counties that are shaded here who are eligible to enroll in the SoCal REN programs. And the breakout of our agencies demonstrates the diversity of agencies enrolled. And so those agencies include K through 12 school districts, cities, counties, water wastewater districts, as well as special districts. And other types of public agencies, as well as tribal governments, are eligible within this territory as well. And then just to note that many of our agencies are enrolled in both the SoCal REN programs as well as local government partnerships. So this map here highlights where the SoCal REN programs are available within the San Joaquin Valley Clean Energy Organization's general region of influence, and that's through both the View and the High Desert partnerships. And just a note that in Kings, Tulare, and Kern counties, we can assist where either SCE or SoCal Gas are the utility providers. So you don't need to have both, but you must be serviced by at least one of those. And then, as I mentioned on the last slide, cities and counties that are already a part of local government partnerships can still enroll in the SoCal REN and receive our no-cost services. So in this case, we would work closely with both the utilities as well as the San Joaquin team to coordinate the services to make sure that we are not duplicating any efforts. And we've worked really well in the past with utilities along with other partnerships and various utility third-party programs to develop projects collaboratively. So program participation can happen concurrently. The SoCal REN offers several programs that are specific to public agencies. So the Project Delivery Program offers audits and technical services, as well as financing support, procurement support, and utility incentive application support for energy efficiency projects. Our Metered Savings Program enables a holistic approach to energy efficiency because it measures savings directly at the meter. So even though there might not be utility incentives available for certain projects, there will still be savings to be realized there. And through this program, we can help guide you through identification and implementation. And then the Revolving Loan Fund, which is what we'll be discussing today, offers short-term construction financing to fund projects while agencies wait for other longer-term financing options to become available. And then the Pathway to Zero program, this helps agencies on the path to zero net energy, and it provides a customized high-level review of energy opportunities, including distributed energy resources like solar and EV charging, and it's focused specifically on facilities that are serving disadvantaged communities. So we all know that project financing is a huge barrier for public agencies. It's why this series was started in the first place, and it's why the SoCal REN puts so much focus on funding and financing resources. And so with all of our 4 programs, we really aim to be your objective third-party resource for financing support. So we've learned from our agency's experiences that all funding and financing opportunities should be explored, and we will help guide you and see what's out there and explore what might be a good fit for your agency. We automatically incorporate utility incentives and on-bill financing options into our audit development process, and then we also complete that paperwork for you. And then if an agency wants to explore additional funding or financing mechanisms, we can work with you to incorporate those as well. So if there's a project and you're interested in pursuing grant funding, we can incorporate that into a cash flow analysis for the project so that you can really see how that might look for your agency. And then for larger projects, we also offer direct municipal advisory services, and that's provided through PFM Financial Advisors. So because funding is such a big issue, the SoCal REN has an offering for a revolving loan fund, and it's meant to provide bridge funding to make energy efficiency projects and upgrades a reality at public facilities. And so there are several advantages with the RLF over some more conventional loans. So for example, there's a 0% interest rate with this loan. The application is relatively simple, and we will help guide you throughout the process. We can even fill it out for your agency. And then once submitted, there's efficient processing and then a quick allocation of funds. So here you can see the RLF cycle. Once we help you submit that application and it's approved by your governing board, the funds are dispersed and the project can get started right away. And then usually our agencies will couple the RLF with utility incentives as well as utility on-bill financing. And so once those come in, once the project is completed, the loan can be repaid, and there's a one-time service fee so that the fund can continue for other public agencies to take advantage of. So we developed this fund because we know from firsthand experience that one of the most common barriers to agencies implementing energy efficiency projects is that lack of readily available funding. So the SoCal REN RLF mitigates those delays. Again, it offers short-term bridge financing to fund those projects while you're waiting for the incentives or on-bill financing reimbursements from the utilities, or while you're waiting for the agency's budget allocation cycle or other long-term financing options to be available. And so here we can see where those delays usually take place. If an agency has identified an energy efficiency project that will realize significant energy and cost savings, but they might not have the available funding right at that moment, we often see projects get delayed until that funding can be identified. So it might be waiting for the next capital improvement plan cycle or waiting for a grant to come through. And so as you're all aware, every few months that project is delayed, the cost of delay is continuing to add up while the energy savings are not being realized. So there are a number of financing options out there that agencies can take advantage of, but many do take time to process or require an interest rate. So here are some options. You know, energy lease financing does provide those upfront funds, but it's generally for larger projects. On-bill financing through the utilities, I know many of you are aware of that offering, and it's a great offering. But it is reimbursable, so it can be delayed until the project's been completed and the post-inspection has taken place. You know, you'll likely have to pay your contractor before those funds are dispersed, so there are some constraints there. And then same with the CEC loan, it is reimbursable, so you still need to come up with that money up front. And then with grant funding, there are a lot of great options out there, but it is competitive. And then with internal funding, again, it either requires the upfront capital or you just might not have it available that year period. And so the SoCal REN RLF addresses many of these constraints and helps fill that gap for public agencies. Just a couple things I'll note: there is limited funding available, and it is on a first-come, first-served basis. And then while there is no interest rate, there is a one-time 1% service fee, and this is to ensure that the project can continue through this fund for other public agencies. And prioritization will be given to projects that are implemented by agencies serving disadvantaged communities. So here is where the RLF application falls into that project process. So after an audit's been conducted and a project has been identified, we would want to be discussing if RLF is viable for this project right away. So we would work with you as soon as possible to start exploring that. And then while the project technical specifications and scope of work are being developed, we can work in parallel to submit that RLF application so that you can move into procurement and construction and realize those energy savings as soon as possible. So honing in, this is what the process would look like for securing the RLF. And again, this can happen in parallel to project development. So we work with you throughout the process to submit the RLF fund if it's deemed viable. And then once the offer to finance is approved and your governing board approves it, the funds will be dispersed and the energy efficiency project can get started. And then again, once the other forms of funding or financing come in, the loan can be repaid. And so really once repaid loans from other agencies come in, they are helping you to finance your project. And then similarly, when you are repaying that loan, you're helping other agencies continue to implement energy efficiency projects. So just again, the RLF is just one of the available programs offered to public agencies enrolled in the SoCal REN. We know from our agency's experiences that funding and financing is a large reason why many projects don't move forward. But we also offer a suite of programs to address other challenges as well as opportunities that are unique to public agencies. And so the RLF program is just one tool in the toolbox, and we can help you evaluate your options as a third-party objective resource. So we have no financial stake in how you fund your projects, but we can help you identify what's best for your agency. And so we'll offer one-on-one customized support to evaluate all of your options and really make sure you feel comfortable and confident moving forward with your projects. And so that's all I had. I'd love to hear if there are any questions about the RLF in particular or any of our other offerings. So I'll turn it back over to you, Rochelle.
Thank you so much, Lauren, for that awesome information. I am really excited about the RLF. If anyone's, if anyone on this call has been listening to some of our past Fast Chats, one of my biggest passions is preventing the delay of implementing projects, because the way I look at it, it's just like throwing money right out the window. So, okay, so I want to give everybody an opportunity to, if there are any questions, go ahead and submit them now. And just to kind of wrap us up while we're waiting, I will follow up this call again with an email. We will send everybody out a link to the recording of this Fast Chat. I will also include contact information for the SoCal REN, so you guys can reach out to Lauren, or if you would like to reach out to us, and we can connect you with Lauren, and we can follow up on any other questions that might come up after the fact or anything like that. I don't see any questions, so I'll just go ahead and wrap us up. Thank you again for joining us this morning. Again, look out for our email later on today. I try to get that out as quickly as I humanly can. You can find the SJV CEO on social media, through email, or on our website. Our sole purpose is to connect you with resources that will help you get your projects done. I also encourage everybody listening, please share the Fast Chat with anyone you think might benefit from this information. The more the merrier. Our next Fast Chat is scheduled for November 12th at 10 a.m. The topic will be announced very soon. And just again, as a quick reminder, if you'd like to listen to any of our past Fast Chats, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here, you can find them at sjvcleanenergy.org. Again, that's sjvcleanenergy.org under the resources heading. Okay, thank you again, everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful week.